Today's story is about a green card holder who's left for almost 8 years and how they were able to come back. And it's not just this client. I think in the past 2 years, we've had helped several clients who are in this exact same situation where their passports were confiscated. Now, you might say, how does that possibly happen? Different countries around the world have different passport issuing laws, including the United States, where if you commit a certain crime or if you're accused of a certain crime, the Department of Homeland Security, the passport agency, they will not issue you a passport. And if you think the US is strict on that, other countries are far stricter. And you can imagine. And so this particular client, they were going through a civil proceeding, not a criminal one, just a civil one. But because of that jurisdiction, that judge issued a you cannot leave the country ban on this individual. So again, passport was confiscated. It was going through court trial. This client thought they were going to just be there for 2 years, 3 years. From all the consultations that he did with the different attorneys, the different teams fighting through this trial, they all said it would end soon. They will end soon. 2018, 2019, COVID, 3 years of nothing happening. After COVID, another 1 year, 2 years. Finally, case was resolved. He's innocent. Now he is able to leave. But now it's already been almost 8 years. How do you explain this to the U.S. Customs officer, right? And again, not just this case. There's several cases that have all been in this same situation. And what we did was we explained everything. But I think what's more important than explaining exactly what happened, which is very, very important, is the U.S. ties. So 8 years not in the U.S., the foreign government confiscated passport. They couldn't get out. The consulate would not issue a SB1. So they're really begging the customs officer to let them in. That's their only chance, their one shot. What is the officer supposed to do, right? They don't know foreign law. But to them, they could easily brush it off just saying like, oh, just talk to the consulate, right? We're not going to let them in, right? Just turn around and fly away, right? This is just too long. Or just explain this to the immigration judge. So what really wins these type of cases, if you're out for 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, your passport was confiscated, so you couldn't fly, is almost entirely dependent on your U.S. ties. So in this particular case that we just did this week, the mom is here, the wife is here, the son is here, and their children, U.S. citizen, and I think their spouse is a green card, but almost becoming a citizen, and they've been here the entire time. And so assets are here, retirement is here, family is here, everything is here. And they were a victim abroad. The previous case that we did, it was during the time, I don't know if you guys remember, it was the basketball player who went to Russia and got detained for a couple years. It was during that time. So I was able to use that story to talk to the officer. Hey, look, similar situation, also Russia, but instead of, being detained for that, they were detained for something else. And it just turns out they're a green card holder. So they didn't leave the U.S. with the intent of abandoning the U.S. residency. There's nothing clear of wanting to leave but cannot leave because of a court trial. Again, the officer was really understanding, was very nice after we explained everything. And more importantly, after fully proving that the wife, the parents, and the children are here, and that if they let them in and then we fight through this through immigration court, that they will likely win it on the merits. The officer says, okay, no problem, come in. We didn't even have to pay an I-193 waiver fine. We were able to show it, explain, and we were able to get it. Now, obviously, it took like 6-7 months preparing for this case. I went down to Mexico. I talked to the officer. I explained everything. And then I went down again, and then we brought the client in. But to the officer, this case was approvable, so go ahead, proceed. And we were able to execute the plan accordingly. They contacted us before the trial was officially over, but it was getting close, and they know they were going to get a passport back. So we started arranging all the flights. So that was another thing that we show, right? The moment they got the passport back, boom, they flew here. Your story matters. Your documents matter. Your circumstance matters, and how you present yourself matters. These are all extremely, extremely important. Yes, immigration law does say after leaving the US for 1 year, this customs officer can inspect you and can confiscate your green card and give it to an immigration judge. Yes, they can force you to pay for a fine in order to let you in. You didn't apply for a reentry permit. You should have applied for a reentry permit. Under immigration laws, as a lawful permanent resident leaving the U.S. for over 180 days, you could get in trouble. You're supposed to be living here. But with all the wisdom of immigration law, it provides these exceptions. The officers have these discretionary authority to adjudicate whether or not somebody did, in fact, abandon their green card or not. And what we did was we just showed up the officer. The client did not abandon the green card. It was beyond their control, and all their housing and their investment and their life is here. And it was a mistaken act by a foreign entity. So please don't punish one of your own. Anyways, we've done so many of these cases now that's what I want to be able to share with everyone and explain. Because again, a lot of people recently have been just asking, like, what if my passport has been taken away, and there was this investigation, that investigation. The thing is, the customs officer could understand. Do your best, explain, and hopefully the customs officer understand and lets you in. That's what we did, and it worked, right? And this isn't the first case. We've done several of these already. So hopefully that helps. And that was the again, out of the country, 8 years, passport confiscated, but we used that to the advantage of this case, and we're able to get back to it. Thank you. Take care.